Good Sunday evening to you. I'm meteorologist Meg Ryan with a live weather update. We have a lot to talk about this evening with cold temperatures and a possibility of maybe even some flurries coming up on Monday night. But let's talk about where we're starting from because we've had quite a nice week of weather. Temperature wise, pretty close to average, a few days above average, including today. So we've been a little spoiled by these nice temperatures, but we definitely have a change coming up. This morning, though, we woke up to some fog. We saw that Saturday morning as well, and the clouds kind of stuck around this morning, but then we saw lots of sunshine. And take a look at that high temperature. We made it up to 75 degrees after a morning low of 55. Our average is about 63, so we're about 12 degrees warmer than we should be for this time of the year, which means tomorrow's temperatures are going to be quite a shock to the system. And we actually did have rain come through earlier, so we do have a little bit of precipitation officially out at the airport. But this is the main story that we're going to talk about this evening, and that is the cold snap of winter weather headed our way in the form of temperatures, that is. Monday and Tuesday is the time frame when we're expecting the biggest impact, and those are our weather impact alert days. Cold temperatures, but it's also going to be windy. So not only is the air temperature cold, it's going to feel much colder as well. And then Tuesday morning, we're going to be seeing temperatures below freezing. So you need to be prepared, not only in terms of how you're going to dress, but also prepare your home, your plants, because we do have a freeze warning. Those are the counties you see here shaded in purple. Davie County is under a freeze watch, and our northern counties do not have any watches or warnings right now. And here's the reason why. Our area is actually under 3 different National Weather Service offices, and each office is in charge of issuing their own watches and warnings. So Raleigh is this area, that's why you see the warning here. Davie County, they're part of Greenville, Spartanburg, and then Blacksburg has not issued any watches or warnings, but I do think that's going to change. Up in the mountains, we actually have a winter weather advisory as they will be seeing some snow. We're going to be lucky if we can see some flurries, but we actually saw some rain showers today. This is associated with the actual cold front coming through. That brought us some wet weather, even some rumbles of thunder, but as you can see, most of it is dying out. For Forsyth County, you are now dry, as is Guilford County, but up in Rockingham County, you're still seeing some wet weather. Just north of the Reedsville area heading towards Ruffin, but it's not going to last that much longer. Right now in Greensboro, it's 55 degrees and winds not a big deal right now, but we're going to start to see those increase. So in Burlington right now, 62 degrees, dew point 48. And as this weather system comes in, we're going to see a big change to those dew points. Temperatures right now across the area, 57 in Winston-Salem, 64 in Asheboro. And if you look at the wind barbs, you can see how there's this dip right here. That's actually where the cold front is. That's how we know where it is. So it has moved through, and behind it, that's that much colder air. And you can already see over in the mountains, 38 in Boone, 40 up in Jefferson. So taking a look at how temperatures have changed, still warmer out ahead of the front, you can see that, but behind the front we're already starting to see those double-digit drops in temperatures, and I cannot wait to show you that map tomorrow. You can see where all that cold air is coming from, all those blues. This is that cold air that's going to be bringing us that big change to temperatures. And you can see in the upper level pattern, this is allowing for that dip in the jet stream. That's going to allow for that cold air to come further down to the south and giving us that blast of winter air, but it's going to be short-lived. We're going to keep in those rain shower chances just through about midnight or so, but after that it's really going to dry out. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. You're going to wake up to temperatures in the upper 30s, but we have some big changes, and this is going to be the shock to the system. Here's an example. We were 75 today. By Tuesday morning, so in about 36 hours, 27. That's a 48-degree drop. Big change. You're going to feel it, but it's not going to last that long. The cold front moving through right now, behind it, ushering in that cold, windy air. But this is overall going to be dry with the exception of the mountains. They're seeing the snow. We might see a few flurries here, but high pressure remains in control, and that is going to keep us dry really for the next 7 days. So for tomorrow, we're going to wake up to temperatures mid and upper 30s, but by the afternoon, we're only talking mid 40s. So between the morning and the afternoon, not a big difference in temperatures, but you will see lots of sunshine. But with that also comes some wind, and that's going to make it feel so much colder. So high temperatures will be in the low 40s across many areas. Raleigh looking at 50, but the mountains, Boone, 26 degrees, so quite chilly. And thinking about wind chill, we're going to look at wind speeds, 10-15 miles per hour, wind gusts up to 20-25, which means it's going to feel a lot colder tomorrow. So even though we're looking at highs in the mid 40s, it's going to feel like it's right around 40. And then for Tuesday morning, when we have those really cold temperatures, it's going to feel like it's in the low 20s. So take a look at temperatures. We saw that high of 75 today. Mid 40s for high temperatures Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're back to average, because keep in mind, 63, that is our average high for this time of the year. So let's take you hour by hour. So Monday morning, there are those morning lows, mid and upper 30s, starting to see some of those mountain snow showers. But again, we are not looking at snow in our area, with one small exception, which I'll show you in just a little bit. So low, mid 40s for high temperatures on Monday. Better snow chance, and you can see the models on Monday evening are trying to pop up some snow. It's just going to be too dry. I think we could see some flurries, and that'll be nice to enjoy, but it's not going to have any impact here in North Carolina. It's not going to accumulate on the ground, but could make for some great pictures and social media posts. So heading into Tuesday, still chilly. But remember, this is just a 2-day system, but those Tuesday morning temperatures are ones you're going to remember, as they're going to be in the mid upper 20s, but of course with that wind chill, it's going to feel even colder than that. So this morning lows, we should be about 41. Of course, we're warmer than that today, but we're going to keep it chilly as we head into the next week. Looking at wind gusts, well, it's going to be breezy, and that's where that wind chill starts to come in. So tomorrow afternoon, we could be seeing 20-25 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's going to continue into Tuesday as well. But take a look at the mountains. They're looking at over 30 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's really going to make it feel chilly up there in Boone. All those Appalachian State students up there, hope they got their winter jacket ready. In terms of us back here at home, what is it going to feel like? Well, Monday afternoon is going to feel like it's close to freezing. And then for Tuesday morning, even though temperatures will be just below freezing, it's going to feel like it's almost 20 degrees. So what it feels like is almost just as important as what the actual temperature is. So snow potential, none here in the Piedmont Triad, but up in the mountains, that's where they're going to see, especially on those higher elevations and those westward facing slopes, they're going to have the best chance of seeing the snow potential. Here's a little graphic for you. Think about meteorological winter. I'm going to step off so we can see this a little bit better. So when we talk about meteorological winter, it really starts the beginning of December and runs through February. Average high temperatures as we start December 1st, 55, and the coldest average high temperature January 15th at 49. And then that's going to be the coldest midpoint of the season. And then as we head towards February, those average highs kind of come back to those low 50s and then the mid 50s. Pretty interesting stuff there. And I know I've had a hard time adjusting to the time change. It was just a week ago that we set our clocks back. So taking a look today, we saw that sunset 5:17, which means we had about 10 hours and 29 minutes of sunlight. But in just 2 weeks, 5:08 p.m. will be that sunset, and in about 4 weeks, 5:05, so less than 10 hours. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. Let's sum all this up. We have a lot of sunshine, not a lot of clouds. It is going to be cold, 44 degrees. And then we do need to remember those winds. That means it's going to feel colder than that. Northwest sustained 10 to 15 miles per hour, and gusts really could get up to around 30 miles per hour. So it's going to be breezy in addition to the cold. So that's what we have for Monday. Tuesday, we have that freeze warning as morning lows 27 degrees, 47 by the afternoon. So this is a short-lived system. So we head into Wednesday and Thursday, high temperatures right around 62, which is pretty close to average for this time of the year. Friday we're at 65, and then looking ahead to next weekend, 65 on Saturday and 69 on Sunday.